Hi, my name is Mehul Choudhary. I am from ISB class of 2011. I am currently working with Deutsche Bank as an associate in the investment banking team in New York. In this role, I am primarily covering banks and insurance companies for investment banking products in the North American region. I have been with Deutsche Bank for a period of 3.5 years now. I started off in Mumbai and worked in Hong Kong and New York, and I also did a volunteer project in South Africa. I graduated from Shriram College of Commerce in 2006, and then I started working with Ernst & Young as part of my articleship of the Chartered Accountancy course. I completed Chartered Accountancy and was working for a brief period with my father in the family business before I came to ISB. So I have a total of 4 years of experience when I came in to ISB. In the family business, I had spent a couple of years, and the reason I started doing that was because it gave me an accelerated move in my career. As a junior person, the kind of responsibilities that I handled in my family business was something which corporates would not have easily given me at that point in time. I wanted to kind of transform back into the corporate life and focus more on banking and finance activities, and that is why I was looking for an MBA in terms of a career transition move. So ISB was kind of my top choice. It was definitely the best school in India to go for MBA, and I was really enamored by the diversity of the class that ISB offered. I think that would have given me a lot of opportunity to learn from my peers. I actually had the opportunity to come to ISB before applying and attend a class here, which gave me a very favorable impression of the school, and that proved to be one of the prime reasons why ISB was my top choice. I also had interviews from an IIM and one US school, but when I got the admit from ISB, I was very sure about my decision to join ISB. I always tell everyone that ISB was definitely the best year in my life. It was a completely transformative experience. There was so much happening in that 1 year that it seems like we went through a time warp where we actually experienced things which a normal person goes through in 3 to 4 years during our 1 year in campus. And this is a sentiment which is shared by a lot of my classmates and a lot of people across classes from ISB. I felt that the peer learning opportunities which I had come to ISB for were extraordinarily good. The one thing which kind of stays in my mind was that before I was coming in, ISB used to advertise itself by saying that you have 500 classmates with average 5 years experience, so you have 2,500 years of experience to learn from, which initially seemed a bit out of the box, but I realized that it was completely true. There was just so much that I could learn from my classmates. For me, the 1 year at ISB was all about getting to know my classmates and spending time with them and making genuine friends. I sort of took a subconscious call of sacrificing everything at ISB just to be able to spend enough time to get to know as many people as possible from my class. So we had a class size of 570 people, and 1 year is a very short period of time to get to know everybody really well. But I made that extra effort to go out and speak to as many people as possible, to be able to sort of learn from them, make friends, like develop a kind of support structure both professionally and personally. And this is one thing which I did not think of it, but it has really helped me in the years post ISB. All the jobs and movements that I've had in my career post ISB have actually been initiated by some ISB batchmate somewhere, and I just realized the immense potential that the network has in terms of helping me out both personally and professionally after ISB. The one unique thing about ISB is that it is a place where everybody has something in it for him or her. So among the 570 people, there is so much activity going on in campus that every person can find something interesting. There is literally an opportunity cost for everything you do, including sleeping. So if you decide to sleep or to study for exams, you're actually missing out on something else. So it tells you how much there is for somebody to do and enjoy themselves. And it's a very flexible program. You kind of always choose what you want to do, and that sort of frames what you take out of it at the end. So one of the interesting things that I remember is that in the first couple of weeks we had a leadership training class, and the first thing that we were told was that leadership is all about self-awareness. And at that time it didn't make sense to me. I thought that those people who are leaders are kind of born leaders or natural leaders, so self-awareness is not going to do much. But by the end of the course I realized that it's really all about self-awareness. The more you get to know yourself, the more you kind of get to understand what your strengths are and kind of focus on them, the better person you become, the better leader you can become. I opted for an exchange program during ISB. It was with Kellogg School of Management, and I was lucky to get the exchange once the entire course at ISB was over. So I managed to do the full 12 months at ISB and then 3 months of exchange. Part of that was driven by the fact that I did not want to miss even a single day of ISB because I enjoyed it so much. So I finished graduation here on campus and then went for my exchange. The exchange really helped me get a very good, ISB is a really good mix between what an Indian school is and what a global school is. So ISB kind of converges the advantages of both programs. And then I managed to go to Kellogg, which is a very well-known top school in US. I got to meet a lot of people there from various backgrounds, different countries, a lot of global experience. So that really helped shape my overall impression of ISB as a program and what I could take out of that. The one thing where the exchange really helped me in my career was when 4 years after my exchange, when I was interviewing for the New York office with Deutsche Bank, I spoke to a lot of senior people who were asking about my educational background, and that was one of the only gaps in my profile where everyone else that they are used to talking to or hiring have had some kind of education in the US, where I had all my education in India. But having been able to talk about my exchange program at Kellogg, it sort of hit one common name with them and they could identify well with it, and that sort of mitigated any concerns that the senior people had about hiring me, and sort of I got the offer, and it's going well till now. In terms of takeaways from ISB, I would say the network is definitely the biggest takeaway. The kind of friends I made here are very, very lifelong friends, and after studying at ISB, it seemed like all my closest friends were all my ISB batchmates, and this has helped keep a sort of emotional support structure, both in terms of personal life, and a lot of this ISB network support has been realized in terms of my career as well. So I would say network is a top takeaway. In terms of personal transformation, I think the motivation levels that I came in with and got out of from ISB were really transformative. While I was at ISB, I always felt that nothing is impossible, everything can be achieved. And this is also an anecdote from one of my friends who started her own venture post ISB. She got the incubation from ISB and had the option to stay inside ISB and run her venture from the campus. But when I talked to her once and I asked her how does it feel to run the venture from campus, she said that I had to move out into the real world, because when I was inside ISB, I always felt that everything is possible and the world is very easily achievable. So I think that's just a common theme. Everybody feels highly motivated when they are here, and it's upon us to sort of keep that motivation going, use it in our life, both personally and professionally. I've also managed to use the motivation to sort of help out my colleagues and friends in situations when they would feel demotivated. So I could talk about my career path from ISB to where I am today. So I started off working with ICICI Bank in the debt structuring team, and that was a job which I got out of the ISB campus. And again, one of my fellow batchmates knew the head of the team at ICICI Bank very well. He managed to put in a good word for me before the interview, and then the interview went well and I got the offer. After working for a bit at ICICI Bank, I decided to move to Deutsche Bank in the middle office in the investment banking team, where I was sort of Asia support, working with the Asia guys sitting in Mumbai but working with the people in Hong Kong and Korea and Singapore. So I did that for 2.5 years, and as a testimony to my hard work, they moved me to front office in New York in December of 2014. So that was kind of my journey from ISB to a front office investment banking. A couple of my friends have had similar journeys, and I would feel that ISB graduates have a very successful career path 3 to 4 years down after graduation. And it's not just the first job which matters a lot, but it's all about the full package that ISB offers.